Hello everyone, welcome to the coding session. So here we will discuss some questions that are very important for TCS NQT or for any companies that are asking for hands-on coding. So today we'll look into Fibonacci series, but like it's not the same thing, but it's slightly modified. So TCS likes to ask questions, those are in patterns. So for this one, as you can see, this is the normal Fibonacci series, like 1125. They will just ask you to print some nth term, or like I have written fifth or nth. And the second pattern is can see is not very simple. It's a mixture of two. So if you look into the uh, odd elements, it is just the nth element like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the even elements are the elements of Fibonacci series. And lastly, this pattern, it is also a mixture of patterns. See the nth means the odd elements, first, third, fifth and seventh. See, these are all Fibonacci elements, but the even elements 2, 3, 5, 7, these are prime elements. So we will now uh, work on the code, like how to obtain this. So like for Fibonacci, we know already the function is that the nth term is equals to n minus 1 plus n minus 2, means the previous and the next to previous one. So we'll just define a function here. So I have written it Fibon. So what I am doing here, if this first element and the second element we are returning 1, or else we are returning this formula directly, because like this will ultimately give us what the Fibonacci element is. So this one is nothing but recursion. We have seen it in C. I have used it in Python here, but the logic is very similar. So in Python we know that it will be a string input, like they will give you 5, but that 5 will be a string. So I have typecasted it into an int, and then we are means assigning it to a function, and that function will return the value of that nth element of a Fibonacci series. So, and then we are using print Fibonacci to print out that element. So I guess there is no problem till now. Like now we can execute. So if I start executing, I put in the first, so my output is 1, as you can see. If I rerun it, if I try to find out the third term, it will give 2, like 1, 2, 3. This one you can see this is 2, and then again run it and let's print out fifth. The fifth is 5. Let's check from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here good with the program, so it's running correctly, no problem. So what TCS will ask you to do just exactly the same thing. They won't ask you any different for this pattern. So now let's go on to the second pattern. We are taking as an input, let the input, if the input is we can write it here, if sorry num dual to not equals 0, then print n, because the odd elements are 1, 3, 5. These are all like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Means they are just what do you say, they are just printing that element only. So if num module 2 not equals to 0, means if the element is odd, then what we'll print is that we cannot directly print that like if it's given 1 then it's okay, but if it's given like 2, so it will not go here, but it will go in that else statement. Let's first write the else, then we'll do this. Else Fibonacci, this we can use there. We'll just pass that num, but we'll not pass that num because If we pass num here, we will get a wrong result. So we are passing num by 2. And what we will do here, this is a very interesting thing in Python, that you can, if you divide this by num by 2, it will take x as a floating point and not as an integer. So what you have to do here, after you are getting x, so x should be int typecasted to x, and then you can do this won't give you any problem. And for the first one is, so what we are doing, the third term. So let's say if we are printing out the third term, so third is 1 2 3, this one, n. So we get it from here, like if we just divided it and then we add it, we'll get the odd elements. So here we can see that we have to again do a typecasting of this int of num plus 2 plus 1. So now we can yes, our input is taken here, so we can run it now. So let's say I want to the first term is 1, as we know, and let's say I want to print the second term. See, the second term is actually the first term of the Fibonacci series, so it will be also 1. So let's try out the fifth term here. See, what is the fifth term here? 1 2 3 4 5, it's 3, it's matching. And let's do another odd, like sixth only, and see if it is matching. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, it's matching, so our code is okay. So this is the second variant. So what they will ask you, put in a, they will give an n as input and tell you to print that nth term. So this will, what they will give, two or three, they will give two public test cases that you can visually see, and three or four there will be private test cases that you won't be able to see, but TCS will provide that internally. For a perfect score, you have to run each and every test case. I don't know whether they will give you, what is it called, that step marking for one or two test cases, but I don't know exactly, so I won't comment on that. And let's get on to the third pattern. This is the most interesting one. So this one, we are having the odd elements as Fibonacci and the even elements as prime numbers. So this I have coded here in this file, and you can see what we are doing here. This will also ask the same thing, that if we are taking an input of n, and they will tell you to print the nth term. So let's go through it once. So what I've given here is a function for Fibonacci, as you can see the previous one only, nothing different. And I have also created a prime function for printing out that prime integer. So what I have done here is that I have created a list of all the prime numbers of up to 1000. This is a random number, not any thing that you have to go for 1000, but it's TCs won't go any test cases higher than 1000, so you are safe. And then you can see the normal uh, uh, prime logic, that if it's divisible by any number other than that, then it's not a prime, and if it's not divisible, then we'll just attach it to an array using this append function, and then we'll just call that element of that array. So here, as you can see, that the even elements, they are prime. So I am taking if n module 2 equals to 0, then pass it to that prime function and print that number. And if it's not prime, then pass it to the Fibonacci function and print that number. So let's execute once. So let's say 10 is not a no, not 10, let's give 5, so it is giving 3. And let's go on to this. What is the fifth term here? Pattern 3, 1 2 3 4 5 3. So you can see it matches here. So as you can see, this code is running. So what I think is, this is the sorry, let's get back to the pattern. This is the easiest one that we have seen, the only Fibonacci series. This is a little bit moderate, I can say, not tough. And this one definitely is tough. Means you have to get two functions, then you have to print out those numbers according to that that pattern. So I think this question can come in TCS digital. And maybe also now you have so for sorry for NQT you won't have like that. For NQT there are only two questions. This one, the second pattern, can come for the first question, the 15 marks, and this question can come for the 30 marks one. So if you nail the both of them, then you'll get to be a TCS digital training. So best of luck. We'll come with another set of questions in the next video. If you have liked this video, please subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you.